It's another lovely week to have the Sports Lounge, and the wonderful crew, the Avengers, they're here again. And like I always tell you, we will go to America for basketball. We will also go to the king of grassroots, Emmanuel Sebastian, to give us updates on what's happening with the Surulere League, because we heard they were on 3 weeks break, but they are back. And there were plenty of goals, plenty of results. The Tottenham Hotspur win in the Surulere League. I guess they did, but in the EPL they did not. They lost to Fat Boy, Steve Bruce team, losing 1 goal to nothing. Manchester United, they are on a mission once again. When you get a schoolboy coach, you get schoolboy result, and that's exactly what happened. Unai Emery, he did pull off his. He pimped 3 from 5 and he lost. That's exactly what happened, because he put up a strategy that he thought was going to give him good results. Well, the last time he lost at Anfield 5-1, but this time around 3-1. I think it's an improvement. That's how it is. You carry last and then you carry 49 out of 50. You've made 1 step progress. And then Real Madrid, we thought they were on fire, but once again, I asked that question. Is Zinedine Zidane digging his grave? My name is Idafi Matthew Esogone, and this is the Sports Lounge. I've got my crew in the house. I'm going to tell you about one person that we brought on the show today. Can you just think for a minute that you pick up your phone and you have tweeted for more than 1.3 million times? Please, what are you tweeting? Are you in a hand competition? Is your hands on riot? Well, somebody will answer that question today. I have a man who, it's a shattered banker now, so it feels like the boss today. That's why it's on short. Everything is abbreviated for him, so even his trouser is abbreviated. Welcome to the show.
Very good.
I'm going to jump the man in the middle wearing the Inter Milan jersey. You know, when you see that jersey, the first name that comes to your mind is names like Ronaldo da Lima. I'm not talking of CR7. Names like Ivan Zamorano, Avero Recoba, and the rest of them. Yeah, but I think this man is happy today. Chelsea won, and we also have somebody who bought Ashwebi on the show for Chelsea. He vowed that Chelsea win, he will wear this. So that's exactly what he did. Precious, are you happy today?
Absolutely delighted to be here.
Have you forgiven Azpilicueta?
Yes, I have.
Okay, let's see the ground running. I've got my World Cup book. There's not like there's World Cup match, but this is a book that I bought when I went to the World Cup in 2014. I lost it in transit, and finally the airline decided to bring it to me. So I'm happy they brought my World Cup book. But having said that, Francis, let me start with you while I sip on my Pepsi. You said you have a statistics that tells you, and that you want to tell everybody about how the football that we see today has regressed compared to how it was from 2008 backward to 1930. Can you please help us with that statistic?
Okay, so what motivated me to do this was the 80 Nigerians thing that was trending, and how there's been.
Yeah, my name was on that 80. Somebody mentioned me, and I was afraid, because that's how somebody got into Forbes list, and then next thing is FBI list, and then next thing is on. Some people, 28 people on execution list. Yeah. Please,
Okay, so now there's been talk about people no longer appreciating hard work again. So I decided to take up data for 20 years, the FIFA World Player of the Year award, and found out that between 2008 and now, 2 names have actually dominated the football world. But looking at 10 years before that, we had 7 unique winners, 7 distinct people winning the award, and then there was variety with respect to the second and third placed guys. You know, at a point in time, from Real Madrid alone, you could count like 3 or 4 guys that would win the award, and nobody would complain about it. So what then has happened between 2008 and now? So I decided to look at
somehow 2008 and now is when the social media
exactly.
Facebook
Facebook became public in 2006, and then this rot started in the year 2008 now. So could it be that players are spending more time building personal social media images than training on the football pitch? Let's look at the life of some of these past successful footballers. A player like David Beckham, for example, said he used to train for free kicks till lights out, and even when he got home, he would train with his sister's teddy bear in the house. Frank Lampard would say after training with his regular teammates, he still spent a lot of time with Didier Drogba on the pitch, practicing different attacking combinations. You remember a season where Drogba scored so many goals, chest, turn and shoot.
Yeah.
Those were things that they practiced on the training pitch. They didn't just happen instinctively. So what's going on with players of nowadays? Look at Ronaldo presently. I found out from a FIFA study recently that was published on Mundo Deportivo. They said Ronaldo doesn't do conventional sit-ups. They released a video of Ronaldo during training with his teammates. The guys were doing the normal push-ups.
The type
that you did, yeah.
So me and regular footballer.
Yes. So but Ronaldo's style was completely different. Now Ronaldo's push-up involved claps. So instead of the normal conventional way, he would jump and then clap his hands. He wasn't doing it to show off for cameras. He was intentionally going through a difficult routine to build the athlete in him. Ronaldo thrives on his athleticism. The same thing with Messi. Messi consciously built the explosive power which he uses to beat defenders. Now, you on one of the episodes, you talk about Hazard being similar style of play. But is it putting in the kind of hard work now required?
If you put in the kind of hard work, you won't become a balloon.
So the question I'm going to put to the house now is: has social media damaged football? Because obviously, football has regressed.
This is where I'm going to bring him on board. I like the question he asked about social media damaging football. I used to think that I'm a social media expert because sometimes I tell people I'm a brand pusher, this. But then I met this guy. Bemi is his name. And I am humbled, honestly. And right now, I want to fall under his anointing. I need him to Father bless me. I need do something for your boys. He has over 1.3 million tweets. How did you do it? Explain that bit. Because to me, it's something I would love to have. It's a credit I would love to add to my name. Like I have over a million tweets. Yeah. How did you do it? When did you start tweeting? From your mother's home?
I think I opened my Twitter account. That should be 2010 August.
I even opened my account before you.
2010 August.
I opened
So,
you
don't
so you beat me at the apprentices.
So when I opened the account, I left it for a while because I didn't understand it and stuff. I just left. So when I was during 7, I wasn't doing much. So I was like, okay, let's see what we have here. So then started pushing, started interacting with people, started following up and stuff. Then we are where we are today.
And I also noticed, because I checked your Twitter handle, I noticed that 95% of your tweets is geared towards encouraging people, inspiring people, motivating people, getting people to think in a positive way and do right. You don't do trolling, you don't banter, you don't insult people, maybe a few nods here and there, but majorly you're focused on raising people. And people like you should be on Forbes list.
I will take exception to that. On Forbes list. Okay. But the problem is in Nigeria, we have a lot to deal with. You get so the least we can do for ourselves to encourage ourselves. Can't keep putting you down. So I feel that's little I can do to encourage people.
It's fantastic. What you've done is fantastic, and that's the reason why we have you. But we know you're an Arsenal fan.
Yeah, I'm not denying that.
Are you the hand fan, the Sele fan, or the AC? Well, let's talk about you were talking something about you're responding to.
Okay, yeah. In terms of whether social media has affected footballers today, I said the perfect example is Memphis Depay. When Memphis Depay, before coming to Manchester United after the 2014 World Cup, was lauded as one of the best young footballers upcoming at the time. Yes. But when he came to United, he was distracted. He was really, really distracted. And should we say he flopped at United? He probably did. Then he went to Lyon. And in Lyon, he gave an interview, which I followed and I watched. And he said that he was distracted with the social media, with the fact that it seemed like he had made it in life already. So the hard work was not put in too much again as he used to.
So it was focused now on doing Instagram
exactly.
and Twitter,
I mean, when you get
showing up the cars that he's
exactly. But,
and his blinks.
Exactly. So, but there's a perfect role model for all social media players to use to follow, and that's Cristiano Ronaldo.
Because I wanted to say that Cristiano Ronaldo and LeBron James are the biggest social media brand.
And they're still
And
doing
they
so
are
well.
the hardest working brands in their game. Now, I need to come back to you on this. Has social media distracted you from anything you're doing? Because you have 1.3 million tweets. That's all of my tweets is 200 and something. It's not even up to the 3 point something on top of yours. Has it distracted you?
No. Actually, I have a job I do, 9 to 5 I do. So if I'm at work and I have things to do, obviously, I don't have time for social media. I'll do that site. But if I'm busy at work, I could do some few hours on there. So to me, basically, I won't say it's a distraction. Do you understand? Whatever you're trying to do, it depends on your focus.
Really?
Yeah. If
Okay,
you are focused, you can get it done.
so I'll come back to you on social media.
Okay.
I need to come to you straight up. Let's have a rundown of, how did it go for you this past weekend?
Let's start up at the
Let's not
Bundesliga.
forget that you're a Manchester United.
I would have preferred him starting from the
We'll get to the
Premier.
FA.
Can you start from the Premier
from Old
League?
Trafford? No. Today, let's make a reception. Let's play Bundesliga. Can you start from the Premier League?
Okay, United fans were warned.
Don't wave it aside, though.
I won't. United fans were warned after the 4-0 win against Chelsea not to be too excited because despite how well they played on the day, United squad was still too thin to challenge for anything. And I said that we shouldn't expect so much this season. So once Luke Shaw got injured in that game, one of the very terrible performances from last season came on Ashley Young, and Zaha ran him ragged all throughout the whole day. Then there was the penalty incident with Pogba being slightly vindicated, although not in the scoreline, but personally, Rashford stepped up and he missed. It was a poor result for Manchester United. Very, very poor result.
And every other one across Europe.
Moving on to Bundesliga, to my player of the week is Lewandowski. He scored a hat-trick.
Yeah.
And Bayern has scored 5 goals this season, and Lewandowski has scored all 5 for them. Their major rivals, Dortmund, they also won. Sancho again being the star of the show. Moving on to La Liga, we spoke about Real Madrid playing a 1-1 draw.
Yeah, we did.
What a coincidence that it was Guardiola that was the name of the guy that scored the equalizer for the other team. Exactly. So, and moving on to my game of the week. If you didn't see this game, I think you should go and watch it. Fiorentina versus Napoli.
4-4.
A 4-4 beautiful game.
Why is it that you always watch 4-4 game? The other day you saw Villarreal and who did they play? Chukwueze scored.
Yeah, Chukwueze scored. Yeah, and Granada. It was 4-4.
Granada. And now you watch Fiorentina, Napoli.
Yeah.
And it's 4-4 again. And you were calling it your game of the weekend.
Yeah, it is my game of the weekend.
For me, my game of the weekend will have to be Newcastle going to Tottenham Hotspur's ground and winning by goal to nil. And my reason for that is the fact that somehow Newcastle, we know them that they're playing all over the place, but they were so organized. They made sure that they pushed Tottenham Hotspur out of their central area, pushed them to the side, double checked them, stopped them from getting it right. So it was more of, okay, coach selecting his players, but then the players going into the field and saying, we want to put in effort. We can't go down like this. And I think that if Arsenal players had done something similar and put in the shift and say, you know what, we're going to impress this coach. Because I've heard a lot of Arsenal fans complain about Unai Emery not getting it right, this one happening, that one happening. But I think this is me on that. And I want to focus on this. Unai Emery looked at the game he's played before. I picked his best players from preseason to this time and decided, you know what, we cannot match Liverpool man for man, speed for speed, attack for attack. So let's sit back, wait on them and hit them on the counter. And the tactics was actually working. Adrian was not the best goalkeeper for Liverpool. He assisted Aubameyang with one pass with his head that Aubameyang did not convert. The next one, Pepe, 72 million pounds, Yaya Sanogo, also had a chance 1-on-1 and he just wafted the ball back as a back pass to the goalkeeper. I think that if they had converted those chances, the story would have been different. But then, congratulations to Liverpool, they won. Now, let's go on this break and get to Ayotunde Onabolu to give us the updates on basketball and see how our men have done. At least we won the last game we played 89, 80 or so, and then we've done well with our men, but not as good as the women anyway. But America, 13 years of not losing a game in world basketball, as well as 78 games unbeaten. They were beaten by Australia. The same Australia they beat 2 days before, beat them. Well, let's get everything from Ayotunde Onabolu. On the flip side, we would bring you grassroots king Emmanuel Sebastian, as well as go to the tennis court to get some story on tennis. See you on the other side.
Thank you very much for having me as always, and hello to you basketball fans. Welcome to the best of basketball with me, Ayo, on the Sports Lounge, only on Elegbete TV. Thanks so much for tuning in as always. Now we know Nigeria is getting set for the FIBA Basketball World Cup, which will be holding starting from the 31st of August, and Nigeria is currently in China, and the D-Tigers, the national team, took part in the Peak Invitational Tournament. Now, I'm not even interested in the results, okay? Because right now it's not about the results, it's about the performances that the team has been able to put together over the course of action in China. Of course, they lost to Iran in the first game, and that was pretty much due to the fact that they landed in China and had to play a game barely hours after they landed. But the way the team set out to play, I must say that if you are Nigerian and you are watching me right now, you have to exercise some level of optimism for this crop of players. Very young team, and one thing that stands out in this team is the hunger and the desire with which they prosecute games. Now, in the game against it was a game against Poland especially. Nigeria trailed by 17 in the very first quarter. That was the time the scoreline was 19-2. The shots weren't falling. They kept turning the ball over, and Poland looked to be coasting home. But guess what? Despite trailing by 17, they were able to muster a run of their own at different stages of the game, and they were able to send the game to overtime, which obviously they eventually won. But the key things to note are the defense, led by Al-Farouk Aminu, was stifling, especially in the second half, and Poland could not find any joy. And I've always said, offense sells tickets, but defense wins championships. And so if you build your team around strong defense, which is what Alex Nwora has done with the lads, then good things are bound to happen. So I'm really excited. I feel like, the way the tournament is, after the first group stage, the top two in each group will qualify for the next group stage. I don't really see how possible it is for Nigeria to not actually make it out of the first group stage, and whatever happens afterwards will still be success for Nigeria. Another country getting ready for the World Cup will be the United States of America, but they were on the wrong side of the history books. They lost their first game in 78 attempts. Their 78 game winning streak in all competitions and all games was snapped by Australia, 98-84. It happened just a few days after they had beaten Australia 102-88 in Melbourne, as they also prepare for the World Cup. And if you still think that because of that the United States are not favorites to win, then I say you got to think again. Come on, man. It's the US we're talking about right now. I believe Greg Popovich, Steve Kerr, and the rest of the coaching crew, which by the way includes our own Nigerian brother Ime Udoka, former assistant coach at Spurs, now assistant coach at the Philadelphia 76ers. I can't wait to see what they're going to do at the World Cup. And the NBA is on break. All attention is shifted to the World Cup right now. But then there's still some news. Of course, it's no longer news that DeMarcus Cousins ruptured his ACL the other day, and because of that there was a void left at the center position for the Los Angeles Lakers, and there were workouts for Dwight Howard, for Joakim Noah, but at the end of it all, Dwight Howard has been offered a non-guaranteed contract to play for the Lakers. It's a one-year deal, and it's non-guaranteed because it includes all sorts of clauses. If you know Dwight Howard very well, as good as he has been as a center, he's always had this sort of disruptive personality in a team setting. But they told him, look, we will let you go, we'll fire you if you become a disruptive force in our dressing room. And Howard is on record to have said, look, I'm a new man, I'm a changed guy. The injuries have put things in perspective for me, and I'm going to be the best teammate I can be and help my team to win games in our quest. Of course, for the Lakers, it's all about winning the championship or bust, and we see exactly how that one goes. Thanks a lot for watching the show. Best of basketball with me, Ayo, on the Sports Lounge, only on Elegbete TV. And like I always like to encourage you, come on, man, subscribe to this channel, Elegbete TV. Like our post said, of course, you drop a comment and you just have to share. Don't be stingy. Let others enjoy exactly what you are enjoying. You know what I'm talking about? I hand you back to the crew for excellent, next level, top-notch analysis like you can never get it anywhere else in the world. Now me talk out.
Thank you so much, Ayotunde Onabolu. He's always reliable, dependable, a trustworthy man that you can always call on and he will give you the best. It doesn't matter the time difference that we're having between Nigeria and Donald Trump's country. And straight away, let's go to the office of the grassroots man. I hear he's tabulating some things in the office. So let's get straight to Emmanuel Sebastian. Emmanuel, what's up with grassroots football this week?
All right, it's time to talk grassroots football again on the Sports Lounge show on Elegbete TV. And yes, the Surulere Regional League is back. For those of you wondering why the league has been on a mini break, at the Surulere National Stadium, the stadium management wanted to make use of the pitch. I'm talking about the main bowl pitch in the Surulere National Stadium. So yes, we are back officially, and we saw 4 fixtures within the week, which kicked off exciting fixtures. You want to say we saw Danas Football Club up against Ajuwa FC. Not a good one for Danas Football Club after all their exertions at the Social League. They came up with maybe a second team missing a lot of key players, but they lost that game by 2-0. A good one for Ajuwa FC getting that victory. Another fixture we saw was 11 Angels Football Club up against FC Hatta. You might want to say yes, the Angels didn't come down to play the game with them because they lost that game by 2-0. Abubakar Aziz with the goal in that game and Shobanke. And talking about the goal from Abubakar Aziz, what a beautiful assist from the goalkeeper, Michael Olujimi. Yes, it was in goal, just as we saw in the EPL a few seasons ago, Manchester City against Huddersfield Football Club. That assist from Ederson Moraes. Just, carbon copy. We saw Michael from goal, launch the ball, high up, and it went straight up to Abubakar Aziz, who finished with aplomb. That was a good win for FC Hatta as well. And another fixture we saw was Surulere Warriors against my favorite team in the league, Dominion Hotspur Football Club. Yes, we saw one Tottenham Hotspur lose, this weekend in the Premier League, but we also have another Hotspur in Surulere doing wonders in the Surulere Regional League. They won that game by 5-1. It was a mismatch, honestly. The young boys of Surulere Warrior, they started the game brightly. They gave their all. We thought the game was going to be an exciting affair for throughout 90 minutes, but Dominion Hotspur show why they are riding atop the league table. They show class. We saw Isaiah Ogundeji scored a brace in that game, and one of my favorite players, I want to say, they call him Sadio Mane. Yes, his name is Opeyemi Lawa. He does look like Sadio Mane actually, but he scored a wonderful volley in that game. Like I mentioned, they won that game by 5-1. It was a high-scoring victory for Dominion Hotspur. And another game we saw was Solos FC against Juventus FC, not the Juventus in Serie A, but the one in Surulere, yes. But they lost that game as well. Solos FC getting that victory, winning 2-0. Abimbola Idewu as well scored a brace in that game. It was an exciting round of fixtures we saw. And looking at the group table, you see how close the top 6 are. Talking about the Group B standings, we see box to box, FC Bethel. From the first position down to the 5th position, you can see, those 5 teams have a chance of making that top 3. And looking as well to the Group A standings, looking at the likes of Starbase, Goshen FC, it's also tight as well. Those 5 teams have a chance of getting into that top 3, and at the end of the day, competing in that Super 6 where we are going to crown the undisputed champion. So it's squeaky bum time, like they say in the league. The games are getting intense. The fixtures are piling up. We are waiting to see who the champions is going to be. And looking up to next week, we still have exciting run of fixtures as well. We're going to see the likes of Starbase Football Club in action, FC Bethel in action as well. FC Bethel coming up against Adonese Stars. You remember Adonese Stars, if you listen to last episode on the show, Adonese Stars will participate in the Trem Cup final on the 31st of August. And they have that fixture against one of the best teams in the league, FC Bethel, just 4 days before that final. So we wait to see how they're going to manage those 2 fixtures, how they're going to put up, how they're going to set up when they come against FC Bethel. And just to remind you, Adonese Stars as well is also in contention to make it to that top 3 in the group standings so that they can just make it all the way to the Super 6. So exciting round of fixtures we wait to see in the next league. We also see Goshen Stars as well will be up in action this week in the league as well. A lot of exciting players to look up to. Kasumu Joel, who plays for FC Goshen, and it'll be exciting, to see the manager again, Coach Abe, on the stands for FC Goshen, playing in the league. So an exciting round of fixtures to look up to. The league is back. The fixtures are rolling in. We wait to see who the top scorer is going to be and who the champion from both set of group tables are going to come out with. We wait to see what these teams are going to put up to. We're going to see some exciting players as well, box to box as well, will be in action. The young G12 team as well will be in action. So these are the exciting run of fixtures we wait to see, in the upcoming week. And keep tabs with the Elegbete TV YouTube channel. We'll keep you up to date with all these fixtures and with grassroots football all across the globe in the Surulere Regional League. I remain Emmanuel Sebastian. I'll see you next time on the show. Stay tuned.
All right, thank you very much, Emmanuel Sebastian. You always deliver on grassroots. A lot of you don't understand how difficult it is to get all these names, all these facts and figures on grassroots. But thank you very much that we have a soldier who understands the territory very well. Now, we have to come back to some of the incidents that happened Monday and Saturday. Pogba played a penalty and missed for Manchester United. In my own opinion, as a former football player, coach, club administrator, I think it's a normal thing that happened. But then the global analysts from Sky Sports to social media, they took it to another level. And then this weekend again, Rashford, who is the designated designated penalty kick taker, also had the chance to score and he missed. So how do you do this? So, and nobody's talking, nobody's killing in the class of 92 are not complaining. But against when Pogba missed, it was tombola. What really happened? I mean,
there's a talk that most of these English pundits, the likes of Gary Neville and the others there, they take it very easy on English players. Lingard has not scored a goal for Manchester United in 2019, but you hear nothing about it.
And no assist as
well. It's quite terrible. Penalties, they are missed. It was the period where Messi, Neymar, they were missing penalties consecutively for Barcelona. But they still went on with it. It's just sad that United are in this position that they are. Rashford's penalty wasn't so bad. I mean, it was perfectly hit, although he hit the bar. But, I mean, they now need to go back to the training ground and...
What about Telegram? Let me come to you on this. There seems to be very good chemistry between Mason Mount and Tammy Abraham. And for Frank Lampard, it seems hell-bent on saying, these are my boys. Because I'm assuming that he's been in dressing room where senior players hijack the dressing room. So the way he lets David Luiz go and then he's believing on these players, do you think he's trying to create a Lampard Drogba kind of connection with Mason Mount and Tammy Abraham, and is it going to work well for him at the end of the day?
Obviously, it seems that's what Lampard is doing. He's trying to recreate the kind of partnership he enjoyed with Drogba. Yes, it will take time. Yes, they will have to stumble and fumble along the way. Yes, they will have to break the hearts of their fans, and they will struggle at some point in time because it happened last season with Mason Mount. When he got injured at Derby County, they fell apart. So there will be times where Chelsea will have that problem with Mason Mount.
But do you think at the end of the day,
I was going to ask him, do you think Mount is Lampard's favorite player? The way we saw Jorginho under Sarri.
I watched the game in the pub yesterday, and somebody said Mason Mount will have to be amputated for Lampard to solve him.
but coaches have their favorite. I've been a coach favorite before, and I've also played under a coach who told me I don't like you. I scored 5 goals in one game, and he told me that I should have, of the 3 goals that I scored, there were better players I should have passed the ball to. So he doesn't really care if I scored 5. But that's him. That's the coach for you. We won the game 5 goals to 3, and he also blamed me for 2 of the goals we considered I didn't track back enough. That said, let me come to you, Bemi. We don't have time. We have to run now. Yeah. Bemi, do you think Unai Emery will lead Arsenal to El Dorado at the end of the day, or you think it's another Arsene Wenger in disguise?
I have my reservations about him, considering the Europa League final last season. By stats and everything.
Was there a possibility that Arsenal would have beaten Chelsea in that finals?
Yeah. Yes. On paper, we are the better team. On form, we are the better team. So we had no business losing that game.
Okay. Arsenal were not in the top 4 in the English league. Chelsea were above them.
Yeah.
Chelsea were in the finals of the Europa, but on paper and on form, Arsenal were.
Yes, we were actually.
Okay, no problem. So you don't think
he hasn't done enough to convince me.
Should they go and bring?
He hasn't done enough.
Terry Henry.
No, he could. He could probably still living, but he hasn't done enough to convince me. Or should
come from Nice?
I don't want any of those. He should still be there, but he hasn't done enough to convince me.
So what will he do to convince you?
That's to get it right.
At least one of the things that Arsenal fans complained about was the fact that Arsenal is not spending. Has he not done enough in the area of forcing the board to spend? Is that not something he's done?
That's exactly what I'm saying. He has gotten the material he wants now, so he should deliver.
No, he has gotten the materials he wants. When Arsene Wenger came in September of 1996, one of the things that was going on for him was the fact that Arsenal had the best defenders in the Premier League, and then they had just bought in the season before, in 95, they had just brought in Dennis Beckham, and then Arsenal also got Patrick Vieira, so it was possible to go forward. But this team does not have a defense.
The defense
so
is bad.
Could that also could you give him some slack on that?
He had the end of the summer to fix that.
He didn't have the money. He had 45 million pounds. That's why Arsenal got all his players for credit. I wish I had time to do this, but somebody is bouncing the ball on the tennis court, and I do not understand why he is wearing Chelsea.
I should be.
I don't understand. Is it whatever it is? I have to leave this for Tolu. Well, thank you very much, Precious. Thank you very much, Gamey, for coming. And I really appreciate you. Hopefully, we'll bring you on board again. Keep tweeting, keep encouraging everybody. And guys, his social media handle is on the screen. You can follow him and see what we are saying so that you understand what I'm saying. Thank you very much and congratulations on what's it called again?
CIBN, Chartered Institute of Bankers Nigeria.
So you are chartered, I have a chartered. And then to those of you who are watching the show, thank you very much for subscribing to Elevated TV as well as sharing and commenting on our show. This is my last appearance on the Sports Lounge. I'm going to start a new show called 1v1 and the chartered banker will be on this seat next week, anchoring the show and running the show. I hope you guys follow, support, and comment on the show. Thank you everyone for being there. Tolu, it's over to you with your Chelsea show.
Thank you guys. And now on the Nigerian tennis scene. Nigeria is presently competing at the African Games in Morocco, and like I said 2 weeks ago, Nigeria took a contingent of 8 players to the African Games currently going on in Morocco, and out of the 8 in the singles matches, 3 are still fighting for medals. 5 have been knocked out. The 3 still fighting for medals is Oyinlomo Quadri, Adesowa Asabayan, and Sylvester Emmanuel. Also in the doubles, of course, the 8 players paired up and they made up a team of 4 different players. We still have 2 players going on strong. Adesowa Asabayan and Oyinlomo Quadri, they partnered, and they are still going on. They are still fighting for medals. Also in the men's doubles, we have Sylvester Emmanuel and Joseph Ime still fighting for medals in the doubles category. And the 5 players who have been knocked out in the singles is Joseph Ime, Emmanuel Sunday, Thomas Otsu, and the 2 ladies that have been knocked out are Blessing Samuel and Anu Ayigbose. We wish them all the best, that they continue to win Nigeria medals just like they've been doing in all the African Games Nigeria has ever participated for tennis. And now to the Chevron Junior Tennis Program. This Chevron Junior Tennis Program is a program that is holding in 7 different locations. It has held in 7 different locations. The first location was Lagos Lawn Tennis Club. The second location was Green Springs Schools at Lekki. The third location was National Stadium. Then it went on to Akure. They went on to River State. They went on to Delta State. They went on to the last state was they went to the Federal Capital Territory. The aim of this program is to attract players from the age of 3 to 16 that would be interested in playing tennis. When they attract the players, they identify the best players. Then they develop the best players they have attracted and they have identified. Then towards in October, they will bring all the best players from all the geopolitical zones to come and compete in a Chevron National Junior Championship. That will have different age categories for numerous players all around Nigeria. So that Chevron Junior Championship will be holding in October. And the very last story I have for you on the Nigerian tennis scene is a couple of Nigerian players will be going all around West Africa to go and compete on the ITF Junior Circuit. Yes, they will be competing on the ITF Junior Circuit. We have players like Mary Love Edwards, Abayomi Phillips, Mati Abamu Miracle, Oiza Yakubu, Serena Telugu. They will be competing for points so they could go up the ITF Junior rankings. We wish them all the best. This kind of tournament they are going to compete in, it's going to be happening in Benin Republic, it's going to be happening in Togo, it's going to be happening in Ghana. This version of this tournament is going to happen in Nigeria in November. 2 weeks of those tournaments will happen in Nigeria during November. And that's all I have for you on the Nigerian tennis scene. Thank you very much.